Floyd Schofield, Renee Giron. We talked right before the fight. I felt like as I was watching the fight, everything I said to you was like, yeah, that was like pretty much everything I said. Go ahead, Antt.
He's still learning. He's still growing. 22 years old. They killing the kid. Good kid, man. Still growing. Still got a lot to learn. I think we seen a fight, and me and Shawn was like, even though he won, the leaping hands.
Yeah, I think it was the fight before this.
Yeah, just calm down, young man.
Sure.
He's trying to do a lot. He's going trying to force the knockout.
Yeah,
and it's not there. Certain things. I think his dad said he bringing another set of eyes in the ring in the corner. That's what he needs.
Which is a good stylistic thing. Like Joanne Guzman was very athletic, and so that's a good pairing. Yeah.
They had Ronnie in the corner too last night.
Did they?
Yeah, they had Shields in the corner last night.
I'm not mad at it.
As someone who I haven't watched none of his fights, that was my first fight, and I would say, you know, he great fighter, great athleticism. Makes certain mistakes where it's just like it can cost you the fight. Obviously, we saw, I think it was the 11th round. You putting all that might into throwing a hard punch, you're going to be knocked off balance, and then you may get hit with a punch. You're like, damn, like that wasn't supposed to be the punch. But again, it's that calming that mind down and understanding what you're really great at and being and sticking to one thing. Sometimes when you got so much athleticism, you can do everything. I can move, I can switch, I can throw a left hook, leading left hook, whatever. So I think when he goes back to see that fight, I think he can learn a lot.
It's like a kid in a Ferrari a little bit, right? Like you want to just go crazy with it, and you still gotta control this thing. Yeah.
That's a great analogy right there.
Everybody's saying basically he's not a limit. There's so much stuff you can do with that kid still.
Yeah,
it's not just a flat-footed fighter that can't do this, that. There's a lot of stuff he can do, and his dad just needs a little bit of help.
Yeah. I was thinking of something, but it doesn't matter at this point in time because I can't remember what I was gonna say. Was when you first started talking. We caught up, or I ended up catching up with Floyd. So there's an interview at the end of this. Check out the rest of this episode. Keep it on because we got the Floyd interview coming on after the motivational message. But overall, would you grade him last night?
C+.
Yeah.
C+, yeah.
I think that's perfect.
Yeah.
C+?
Yeah.
What you got?
C+.
I give him a B.
Oh, okay.
That's fine.
Look at fighters. Look at fighters.
Why we can't get the
I was
kid
tempted to
fighters?
go B, but he got to C+
like B.
first, and I,
You want to give him an A?
No, me.
No, okay. I'll just check. What about you?
Take it to the B's.
B+.
Yeah.
Damn.
B+.
B+.
So he just
Okay,
raised it.
what y'all see we didn't see?
Let me tell you,
Okay.
B+ because I
B
feel like
minus. I'm gonna upgrade to a B.
you would be right. Okay.
Upgrade.
I say B+ because, like you said, and he is young. He's 22 years old. He's gonna get overzealous. He's gonna think that some things are there when they're not there. Small little openings and things like that. You play football, so you know that as you go up in the levels, the speed changes, and it takes you a little while for that game to slow down. Same thing with boxing, you know. So I think that especially last night, one of the things I said with Zittel, I said, listen, he can get in and out on Giron. He's fast enough. I said, but he can't get greedy. He might get greedy and he might get caught. And the first time he got caught in the third round, I was like, I thought that was going to be it. I thought that you learned your lesson. I got that out of my system. But he's still young, and you know the immaturity of him. He's a little stuck on I can do so much more than just the speed. And in the corner, they wanted him to use the speed. They wanted him to use the feet. And I asked him, y'all, watch the interview. I don't think he understood what I was saying. I'll ask you this. If you ever find yourself in a fight or even in sparring where you got to move a little bit more than you're used to moving or than you want to move, do you ever in your mind think, man, I'm being a punk, I got to go get it?
Yes and no. The fighter mentality is like, nah, I'm just gonna go forward. I'm gonna do that. But this being smart, that's where you learn that experience. Like, okay, let me move. Let me actually see what I'm saying. Now it makes sense. Now you can go back, be like, okay, yeah, I know what you meant. But sometimes we get in our own way. Yeah. And that can cause some issues. So
a fight I had with Ugas, we prepared to do a whole lot in that fight, but walking out to the ring, my dad was like, he ain't got no feet, so just move on him and use your jab, keep the fight on the outside. We did that for 12 rounds. There were a couple points in the fight, in the corner, during the fight, where I was like, I gotta go get it, but being smart and listening to the corner kept me away from getting into any sort of firefight with him or anything like that. And it's like I told Antt before, if they had called that a knockdown, everybody would have got what they wanted to get. Because I was a punch away from going at him anyway, because it was like, I want to add that excitement to this, but at the same time, I just knew that I had to, kind of stick with the game plan. He couldn't stick with the game plan enough yesterday. And I think it got him in trouble. Once you learn how to stick to a game plan, he showed the speed, he showed the power. I wanted him to go to the body more. That was the one thing I felt like he should have done.
And defensive nuance. Like if it wasn't his feet, he wasn't like catching and shooting, he wasn't feigning, he wasn't, pull counter, slip counter. Like it was basically just super athletic and then use the feet to make this much slower footed guy have to reset, and you just get off what you want at will. And then the times he got caught is getting overzealous, trying to give fans what they want, combinations, knockouts.
And this is kind of what a 22-year-old needs. When you have all athleticism and you run a 4.240,
right?
And then somebody burn you on the go route.
You still gotta be in position.
And now you like, now let me get my stuff back together. Let me stay in position. So I'm sure he'll learn off of the getting knocked down and all those other things.
But what's the silver lining to that is that he's a warrior. Yeah. He wants to fight. He's got dog.
That's why I give him a B because of the confidence. Yeah. It's one thing to say you can fight, but it's another to be in there to carry that confidence through each round, even when it was the third round, they're going back and forth. Even when they're showing Shakur's tweets live. Yeah. Big old scream, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, how is that messing with your mentality? Is that working for you, against you? Like, and the confidence carried.
I said, I'm tweeting. Why they only putting up Shakur's tweets?
This one.
I said, I'm going to tweet something, see if they put my tweet up.
That is why I upgraded to the B- though, because, he had those shaky moments, but he responded like a champion. So it's like, and you're young, and this is your first time going 12 with a guy like this. And so one of the questions we have isn't just about your defense and your skills. You got heart. When that moment comes, when you get dropped or you get hurt, how do you respond? You responded like a G. So that's a good thing, obviously.
Yep. Yeah. And enjoy the interview I did with him. I think it went really well. I think we'll find out some things that we didn't know before the fight as well.
His pops is trying to cook me on social media.
What happened? What did he say?
To Sean Zittel.
They say you're a hater and you're a Devin fan because I was recording a lot of Devin.
You look like a Devin fan.
Yeah, not a fan, and
you are a fan. You could be a
fan of everybody. How about that?
You could be a
fan of boxing.